What's good, my fellow Destined ones? So this is going to be a build guide that you probably want to think about using for your next challenge in the Gauntlet of Legends, as well as the Return of Rivals. Without further ado, let's lock in. I'm going to break this guide up into different parts. First, I'll show you the build. I'll give you some suggestions about spells and everything that you might want to use. And then finally, I'll show you some gameplay. So let's get to it. First, this is my equipment. You're going to be rocking the Dark Iron Staff. The reason being is we have high defense, so that raises our attack stat pretty nicely. Next is going to be the fan. You want to use this for crowd control, or at least to be able to control your opponent. The Wandering White is one of my favorite spirits, but you can switch that to Mother of Flameling. Even the Bat is pretty amazing. These two are great for burning the opponent, getting that burning damage and doing some extra DPS, or you come in just freezing them solid and go in for some combos. When it comes to the armor set, it's got to be the Iron Horn helm and the entire set. You need 4 pieces of the set so that you can get these special bonuses. Upon successful rock solid deflections, you massively increase focus gain by nick of time, as well as upon successful rock solid deflections, you considerably reduce its cooldown. That means you can spam the hell out of rock solid if you time it right. And this can also kind of synergize with something else we have going with this build. I'm going to skip to the gourd real quick so I can show you something. I have the Immortal Blessing gourd, which is just one of my favorites. It has the attack boosting ability on it. I have Long Bomb as my drink because that also increases your damage that you do. And then down here in my soaks, I have this, the Copper Pill. So because you have the special ability of using rock solid over and over, you can also pop your gourd just before using rock solid and get back mana so that you can actually regain it over time. What I mean by that is, in certain situations, I'll just go ahead and pop my gourd, and then when I know the enemy is about to hit me, I'll use rock solid, get the timing, the deflection, and get back extra mana. It's a great way to get back mana, especially if you've been spending too much of your resources, so you should try to use that moving forward in these fights. The reason why that's so important is because you're going to be using your resources each fight and they don't reset. So that's going to be one of the easiest and fastest ways to get back mana when you definitely need it in the later fights. But let's roll back a little bit. My curios are the Preservation Orb, the Jade Moon Rabbit, the Gold Sun Crow, the Amber Prayer Beads, and last but not least, the Gold Spike Plate. Getting up your focus very quickly is very important. That's why I use the beads. And every time they attack me, they take a little bit of damage. Plus the defense is nice on the Gold Spike Plate. When it comes to self-advance, rock solid and this skill right here is your best friend. You recover a significant amount of mana upon successful deflections. So that goes in together and synergizes with my gourd. For the other spells, you need Immobilize to kind of control the battlefield and your opponent. For strands, you definitely want to be rocking the life-saving strand and try to get this right here, the Cycle Breaker, meaning that if you get killed, you may get lucky and get an extra life because of this. So this will definitely come in clutch, especially if you go ahead and get it. As well as you can get some gourd uses back, and you can get back a considerable amount of mana when you die. So it's pretty awesome using this. And to me, when you have to go for longevity or you have to try to get to the last fight, this is more important than trying to do Pluck a Mini, which is going to use your resources. When it comes to stances, I usually use the Smash Stance and Thrust Stance, but my favorite ability is Tactical Retreat. Whenever you use this, you basically go into a non-void state, they can't touch you, and then you can follow up with a forward thrust. It's pretty amazing, and I love it. Also, I switch between this and Smash Stance so that I can do big damage when I have all 4 focus points. When it comes to foundation and stamina, I only really grab this right here, the Vigilant Heart and Shadow. These 2 things are just amazing because I love using perfect dodge, and I can get a little bit of damage reduction, as well as it moderately increases my focus gain over time. So yeah, I like that. When it comes to survival, it's kind of important to prioritize your health and defense, especially in these more difficult fights. So I would definitely do that. Plus, the higher your defense is with the staff that we're using, you can get some more attack power. And last but not least, I do love using this right here, the staff spin, because when you get in a whole bunch of constant staff spin attacks, you're going to get back your focus a little bit faster by using this. So it comes in handy. Now, when it comes to transformations, you can use absolutely anything you want. Your favorite transformations, whatever you love the most, use it. And that's pretty much the entire build in a nutshell. When it comes to your relics, use whatever works for your build. That's completely free and up to you. Now, for the rest of the guide, I'm going to go ahead and show you different fights and how I go about doing it. Just to give you some quick hints and tips, there's a lot of these guys that just do too much damage and they're extremely aggressive. So timing your gourd uses with your rock solid ability to possibly get back resources in the middle of the fight may be very, very important for you. Don't forget about the medicines, coming over here and talking to our guy Zoodog, grabbing medicines from him, as well as, you know, staying on top of your own medicines is very important moving forward. Now, in certain fights, especially in the Gauntlet of Legends, you're going to be getting torn up, slapped up, and slid all over the place by some of these guys. These bosses do not hold anything back, and you shouldn't either. Don't be too timid or afraid of them. Use rock solid when you see the opportunity to do so, and dodge every other moment. One of the things that I really love to do the most is possibly just take my time in the fight. And I know that sounds weird, but when you rush in and you try to get a bunch of hits off, it's easy to make mistakes or mess up the timing. But when you actually slow down and walk up to the opponent, they don't immediately fight you. They'll walk towards you as well. And basically the AI is going to judge and react to what you do. So if you're not rushing in, you can actually get yourself in a good vantage point, or at least be able to take advantage of the position you're in, as well as what they are about to do next. But either way you look at it, this mode is extremely punishing. The Gauntlet of Legends is savage, and trying to beat all of these different bosses in here is going to be a challenge in itself, but I believe in you. If you have any questions or if you need any more help, go ahead and let me know down in the comment section below. As you can see here, I have sauced up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of almost all of these opponents so far. Monkey Mind, Brothers of May, and this last secret boss down here, I'm really excited to go ahead and beat, and I'm going to go ahead and tap them up right now. I did fight the Monkey Mind not too long ago. I did it for about an hour today. And yeah, this fight is pretty nasty. I get to the very last opponent every single time with less than 10% health left, and then I just choke up. I'm not even gonna hold you, I choke up. Like, it's sad. I should really just clutch up and just take them out, but something stupid always happens at the end because it's a really nice fight. I'm not gonna hold you. If you haven't already experienced it, you definitely want to take your time with the great sage Broken Shell. He's a beast, and they do have a couple of brand new moves in there which I've never seen before, which are the ones that catch me off guard every single time. So it's all good. I'm not mad about it. I only did it for an hour, so I'm eventually gonna knock this out. And the build that I'm using right now has been the rock solid build. That's the closest build to be able to slap them up. But that's gonna be all for today's video. I hope you guys found it extremely helpful. If you did, go ahead and smash that like button for me, and sub to the channel so that you don't miss out on any more tips, tricks, guides, builds, and everything else you need for Black Myth Wukong. This is your boy M of MSensei HD. For now though, I'm gonna get up out of here.